Good morning. Welcome to the March 13th, 2026 meeting of the Montgomery County House Delegation. Today on our agenda, we are voting on one local bill, MC 20-26, and we also have a special guest, Comptroller Brooke Lehrman. We are going to take up voting on the local bill first, and I'm going to turn it over to the Vice Chair of the Metro Washington Area Committee to give the committee report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have it up. Just one second. MC 2026 updates, formalizes, and codifies a number of provisions relating to the governance of the Village of Drummond, which is a small special taxing district of 41 houses located in Chevy Chase. Among other things, the bill changes the name of the governing body from the Drummond Citizens Committee to the Village Council, establishes public meeting, annual budget process, and record-keeping requirements, formalizes the governing offices of the village to expressly reflect a mayor, treasurer, and secretary, and updates procurement notice requirements in keeping with state procurement notice requirements. There are no amendments. I move the bill.
I will
Second.
second, or Delegate Corman can second. Moved by Vice Chair Vogel, seconded by Delegate Corman. Is there any discussion or questions on the bill? Okay, and as a reminder, if you'd like to be recorded as voting, please come on camera. I will note that the following delegates are excused today. Let me just make sure they are not here. Yeah, that are excused today, Delegate Chi, Cullison, and Miraku North. All right. All those in favor of MC 20-26, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that is unanimous. Thank you, colleagues. And I'm going to just give a heads up because we moved things around for our special guest that we're going to turn to her next, but I'll give her a second because things were on the move here this morning. Oh, great. She's here. She is prepared. Wonderful, because she always is. We are delighted today to have our special guest, Maryland's Comptroller Brooke Lehrman, the House's own. Thank you so much for being here, and thanks for your flexibility in terms of the timing this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for fitting me in. I really appreciate it. And Jace is on with us and is going to share a PowerPoint. But good morning, everybody. It's great to see you. Thanks for fitting me in on Friday the 13th. It's great to be here with all of you. I'm just going to do a run through of sort of some of the work that we do and things that we're working on, and then delighted to take a few questions. So Jace, if you want to go forward. Just as a recap, this is our org chart. This is the org chart I created when I became comptroller a few years ago. Over on the left-hand side, you'll see Chief Deputy Comptroller Andy Schaffel. He is retiring from the agency after many great years. He ran the BRE and then became Chief Deputy under me, and he is going to join the private sector. So he will be replaced by the woman you see under him, Erica Roach, who actually came to us last year. She resigned from the federal government. She helped run OPM, so we're excited to have her. Then you'll see our other chief deputies, our other deputy comptrollers in different areas, and one that you all hopefully know, I think a lot of our government affairs team. Steve Harrington runs government affairs, and Matt Dudzik does a lot of work on state government affairs. So just wanted to sort of show you who we are this way. Okay, next slide. This is our vision that we adopted when I became comptroller, to work in partnership to create a state that's more equitable, more resilient, and more prosperous so that every Marylander can reach their full potential. Working with partnership means working with all of you. And then below, you'll see our 3 core priorities. And these are the priorities that guide all of our work. Make government work better, ensure the resources and expertise of our office positively impact all of our communities, and ensure that we're well positioned for responsible long-term economic growth and success. So that all of the work that we do falls into those buckets. So what is the work we do? It's right here. There's the CFO role, where we oversee general accounting, unclaimed property, central payroll. So we sign all your paychecks. The Bureau of Revenue estimates. We also administer the data center. So we run the mainframe for nearly every state agency. I think MDOT is the only one that runs its own mainframe. We also, of course, have the board oversight role, Board of Public Works, Pension Board, and more. And of course, act as the state's revenue administrator, everybody's favorite job this time of year. Next slide. Um, okay. Great. So some of what we do by the numbers. So we serve over 3.2 million individual taxpayers. That's over 5 million returns and payments. Last year, we issued 2.7 million refunds. We also issued 440,000 earned income credits last year, totaling $519 million, which was the most in many years. We also serve 500,000 businesses, and they submit more than 6 million returns and payments. And I just sort of share these numbers because they are so much bigger than I think we sometimes think of. These are huge numbers. So even if sort of 1% of taxpayers, don't get their refunds in 3 days, which is our average, that's a lot of people, right? So just the level of precision that is required is extraordinary, and the amount of people that we serve is really extraordinary. I think I say that we serve more Marylanders than any other agency, and I'm pretty sure that's true. What we do, another thing that we do is unclaimed property. This has been a big focus of ours in the past year. We launched a brand new unclaimed property website, an entire system in October that makes it much easier for residents to find and claim their lost assets, and easier for our agency to administer them. When I arrived, people were printing out PDFs and mailing them in. So we're really proud of this new page. And it's something that I hope you all will share. I had an email from a former state director of Senator Van Hollen's once after we launched this, who said this was the talk of the town because people were sharing it with their neighbors and finding their unclaimed property. And last year we sent out a record amount of money, $121 million to our shared constituents. So I just, encourage you to share this website. We can get you social media graphics on it. But it is a service that we as the state, not just me, but like we collectively provide to the people of Maryland. We also will be putting out a press release soon because we just signed an MOU with the National Association of State Treasurers. I've been working at the federal level and with NAST to be able to pull retirement savings that have been unclaimed into our unclaimed property databases. So like if you had a 401k at your first job that you left and forgot about, it's still sitting there, and we want to be able to pull it in so that you can claim it. So we are now going to be able to do that, and we're putting out a press release about it in the next couple weeks. So that'll be, an additional millions and millions of dollars. We also share the data. We try to share our economic intelligence with all of you and with the people of Maryland through, our State of the Economy series, which we ran for a couple years. Last year, we did a state spending series, and we looked at different types of costs and other policy research. One here I want to call your attention to is the bottom right, the Expanding Opportunity to Build Wealth, our baby bonds report. That was as a result of JCR language, budget language, that we were able to sort of pull that together and did that and produced it. And I think the next step in baby bonds is to do a full ROI study. And so that's something that we would be excited to do in the future as well. I think I'm really excited about baby bonds. Many of my fellow elected state financial officers are also promoting baby bond legislation in their states across the nation. And this isn't something we'll do perhaps this year or next year, but I, would welcome a more in-depth conversation on baby bonds if you all are ever interested, because I think this has incredible potential to help us close the wealth gap that we see in our state over the long term. Next slide. Some more about what we do. Not only do we do reports, we also do dashboards now. So we have a ComStat team, a small team of 3 people who pulls together stats to produce the Com360 dashboard. This is a public dashboard for you. You can check it out and find information about where your earned income, who's getting the earned income tax credit, and data on what's available. So I love looking at this. We also have a federal spending dashboard. That's the one on the bottom left, where you can look up employment in different agencies and sort of run the numbers by county and by agency. And then we launched, because of legislation that we partnered with the Legislative Black Caucus, the Maryland Board of Public Works dashboard. That's on the bottom right. So we're excited about the possibilities for all of these dashboards. And in the coming year, I think you'll see, my hope is that we'll make some big strides and do some big changes, especially with the abilities, frankly, of generative AI to help us scrape data. And we want to be able to produce that data in a way that can be used more easily. So that will be a goal in the coming years. We're also very focused on building better tools. So you can see there on the bottom left, that is the screen that I arrived to. When I arrived, that's a actual screen of somebody's desktop processing motor fuel taxes. And that's what our whole tax system looks like still, except for business taxes. We moved our business taxes into Maryland Tax Connect in February of 24. We launched the MyCom Connect, our CRM platform, for the first time ever. We have a CRM so we can track cases, and you can track cases with us. Last spring, so people are fully using it now, which has been great. We launched a new website last year. We will be launching a new payroll system next January 1st, and I'll talk later about our new tax system. But we have so many modernization projects, literally 70 plus modernization projects on cybersecurity, laying new fiber. We are really setting this agency up for the long term and sort of recalibrating the level at which it works so that it can serve everybody better. And it's a few years long process. We also created the Office of Taxpayer Advocate. So this is for experts who really dig in on thorny tax cases and produce an annual report every year on the places where the state is having the most challenges. Next slide. MyCom Connect they use to track cases. And so this isn't about the taxpayer advocate, but last year, I'll just note for our taxpayer services division, we had 80,000 walk-in visits last year, which was a huge increase from 2022. In 2022, of course, they were still recovering from COVID and there weren't very many walk-ins. In 2025, we received, there's a little typo there, 2.5 million phone calls, which was a big increase as well. This is all from the Office of Taxpayer Advocate annual report. Next slide. So here's a little bit more on revenues. You probably saw, and this isn't on this slide, but we just did have our March BRE meeting. We did have a write-up between the 2 years, FY26 and FY27. A large portion of that write-up was because of an increase of estate taxes. We had I think the biggest estate tax payments in 2025 in the history of the state. So that was, one-time funding, but great to have nonetheless. And even without that, we were holding steady, which is really, I think, speaks to the resilience of our economy and the ability of Marylanders to continue to do well and earn and find jobs. So it was it was a challenging year, obviously, for so many Marylanders. And yet our sort of withholding revenue has continued to hold steady, which is a real positive for us. Next slide. I just wanted to give an example of some of the projects that come through the BPW. So these are projects that have come through BPW. We get a lot of projects. All of your bond bills turn into BPW items, and the treasurer informs you of those. We inform the nonprofits generally, and the treasurer informs you. That's sort of our split of work, but these are just a few things. Next slide. And then these are some other types of projects that have come through the Board of Public Works as well that we're always happy to see. We do work with a large number of nonprofits, helping them to understand how to claim their dollars, even though it's through the Department of General Services. The BPW has given DGS the ability to sort of run that system and program, we end up doing a lot of handholding, which is great. We're happy to help. So if your nonprofits who are getting bond bills ever have questions, feel free to send them to us, specifically Michelle Lambert, who you all know, who is our Board of Public Works Director. So next slide. And then we have a public engagement officer for Montgomery County. Her name is Nicole Johnson. She does engagement with businesses at community events, et cetera, to get, when I say we want to share the resources of the office, this is her in person working with your community groups, going to different events, symposiums, fairs, business roundtables and more. These are just sort of examples of the type of work, type of events that she goes to. So if you have something in your district that's coming up, please let us know and she can often attend. And then we also have tons of handouts and social media toolkits. So you'll see in the bottom left there, we have a whole slew of graphics on the earned income tax credit that you could, if you just go to marylandcomptroller.gov, on the front page, you'll see our Earned It campaign video or graphic that you can click on and find all sorts of social media graphics and information. On the right on the screen here, these are 2026 tax season handouts, and they're just a great overview of resources in the agency. And as you can see, we have them in many different languages. So we are happy to share physical handouts for you to take when you're doing visits this spring on tax, even though it's for 2026 and you'll mostly be doing that after tax season. Lots of people file late, and we're also happy to give you handouts on other items as well, and just so people have this information for next year and ongoing. So we are happy to give you any handouts or information that you'd like. Next slide. Last two slides, I just want to talk to you about Maryland Tax Connect. So as you know, I've told you, I think many of you, that our tax system is very old. We have to move into a new tax system this year. Our old tax system is called SMART. It is not smart. It is really problematic. And it means that we can't do changes that you want. It is full. It cannot take more changes. So we are shifting this year to Maryland Tax Connect to give you a sense of how massive this shift is. Our team has been working on it for 2 years. And when we actually start moving all of the data from the mainframe to the new cloud-based system, it will take 18 days of 24-hour movement of data just from one to the other. So it's a massive amount of data and incredibly complex. So we will, have more information about that as it gets closer, but we have to make sure that so when we come to you and we say, please, can you push this out a year? This is why, because everything we have right now is dedicated in our revenue ops team is dedicated to focusing on this transfer. And then it'll be done and we'll be able to do more work in the future. All of these systems, personal income tax, PTEs, fiduciary taxes, will all be migrating to this new system. We have to do it in August because, of course, then in October is our mini tax season. We're also migrating all state employees from our old central payroll system, POSC. You guys know the POSC system. We will move to Workday on January 1st. We're also continuing to migrate the entire accounting system for the state of Maryland. I know you've probably seen some of the audits that have come out. Part of the challenge is that we're in this old FEMA system and people have created all their own workarounds. We are all going to be in a new modern system like every other state government in America. We are going to get there in the next couple of years. We're picking the IT in the next couple months. We've launched an accounting academy for state agencies' finance officers so they understand more how to balance their books before they send them to us. And we're continuing to move forward on this work. We're opening a new branch office in Montgomery County in May in Rockville. The mayor and her team have been awesome and really helpful with all the permits and work that we need, as has Montgomery County itself. And then we have some research reports coming out this year. Our first one will be on the healthcare industry because it is, of course, the largest private industry in Maryland. So that's a little bit about what we're doing. Thanks so much for having me give that quick overview, and I'm happy to take some questions. Chase, you can take down the slides now. Thanks.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. And colleagues, if you have questions, please use your virtual raise hand function. And in the meantime, I'm just going to say, Comptroller Learman, thank you so much to you and your team. You are all doing amazing work. I'll say, especially on the variety of reports on different things. I feel like the one on the state of childcare in Maryland, I have used so many times,
Oh,
including
good.
this session. And they have
Great.
long shelf lives that are very useful. So thank
Yeah.
you on that front.
That is great. That's the goal. So if you all ever have ideas or things you want us to look into, like, let us know. We'll get it in the queue because we are obviously producing these to be helpful to you all. So thanks.
Definitely. All right, colleagues, any questions or comments?
So easy today.
Yes,
Okay.
Delegate Kaufman.
Well, because no one else asked, I'm just go I'm going to I wanted just two things. Will you share the slides because it was awesome? And number two, it's good to see you as always. The Rockville office is in addition to your Wheaton office, correct?
We are moving, the Wheaton office is closing and we're moving to Rockville. We tried to find another space in Wheaton and Wheaton is full, guys. There are no sort of floor, street level offices or even second level offices available anywhere in Wheaton, but we have outgrown the Wheaton office. It is too small for us. And so we needed more space. And it took about a year and a half to find this space, but we thought we wanted it to be close, it's close to public transit. I thought also just having it sort of with the county near closer to the county offices so people could do more one-stop shopping, if they wanted to deal with county issues and state issues made sense. So we looked at where everybody was coming from, and Rockville seemed to make the most sense.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
And will you share the slides?
Yes, we're happy to send over the slides.
Thank you. Thank
Excellent.
you, Madam
Yeah.
Chair.
Thank you. And we'll make sure our Administrator Ralph gets those sent around as well. Anything else, colleagues? No, I think we're all just very appreciative of the great work that you're doing. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Have a great morning and good luck with the rest of session. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, colleagues, we are at the end of our agenda for today. I will note that this is our last anticipated Friday delegation meeting. Now, things can change, but we should congratulate ourselves. We have cleared our drawers. All bills have been acted upon. I do want to just give a shout out to actually one of our members, to Delegate Wu. He had, as you might recall, a bill about reflecting the diversity of our county and ensuring that certain holidays were non-instructional days for students. I want to report that we've had some movement statewide because of this legislation, and actually the State Board of Education is going to be taking up this issue and going to be giving direction and guidance to all 24 school districts across the state about how to more appropriately create their calendars for next year and beyond. And so I really do want to just thank Delegate Wu for his work on this issue. And we very much are appreciative of him keeping that conversation going. And I think that this is a good outcome for this year because it's not just Montgomery County. We're going to make sure that we're celebrating our diversity across the state. So thank you. Let me just double check. No, yes, Delegate Wims.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I think I'm the oldest in age in the delegation. I'm not sure, but close to it. So I just wanted to speak on behalf of all of us to say thank you for your leadership. That's what I say. It's been a great year. And just want to say thank you, Madam Chair. That's it.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very kind. Very much appreciate that. Do we have any other announcements? I don't think any delegation chairs should have anything. Everyone's shaking their heads. Okay, we're good there. Any other announcements from delegation members? No. Ralph, do you want? Oh, yes. Delegate Kaufman, did you have something?
Yeah, just very briefly to add on to what Delegate Wims said. It's not only been an extraordinary year under your leadership, but an extraordinary 4 years. So I think we all owe you a debt of gratitude for serving as our chair this year.
Well, thank you. I
And
very
then
much
this
appreciate
term
that.
is what I meant to say.
Thank you. You all make my job easy. I was told that maybe in the past, this is not a reflection of our immediate past delegation chair, but sometimes that being delegation chair, just writ large for any delegation, is a little bit like herding cats. I've never felt like you guys are cats. You are wonderful colleagues. So back at you all. All right. And I
As
think
the youngest in age, I also want to thank you. Okay.
thank you. And I'm going to go to Ralph now. I have a feeling he wants to talk about staff appreciation party.
You would be correct. Staff appreciation, as many of you know already, Friday the 27th at noon down in the delegation rooms in 170. Food will be provided by Picante. Vegetarian, vegan, and gluten-free options will be provided. And just like last year, we're bringing back Family Feud since it was such a good hit. So have you, your staff, your interns all fill out the survey, and we hope to see all of you there. Everyone is welcome.
Yes, and there is an email in your inboxes about cost for covering for the staff who's going to be attending from your office about the RSVP deadline, all of that. But otherwise, Ralph can get you all of that information. All right. Anything else for the good of the order before we wrap up here? Okay. Thank you. We are adjourned, everyone.